speaking about the possibility of Gabriel Martinelli going the other way. Now, it appears there's been wide-ranging conversations between Arsenal, their sporting director, Andrea Berta, and Galatasaray around a potential signing of Victor Osimhen. Now, there's a possible scenario that he's been offered to Arsenal, or there's a scenario whereby Arsenal have asked about his availability. We wait to see what has happened in those talks and whether this progresses into something verging on interest and potentially a bid from Arsenal. And it's the Telegraph's understanding that Galatasaray have an interest in Gabriel Martinelli and Ethan Nwaneri. So, very early stages. We know there's been interest in Victor Osimhen from clubs in the Premier League for a long time. We know Arsenal have had an interest in signing a striker in this transfer. We know Julian Alvarez appears to be their main target, but we know Atletico Madrid aren't prepared to let him go for anywhere less than £170 million, around 200 million euros. So potentially, if that's ruled out, Arsenal need to look at other options if they are serious about signing another striker in this transfer window. And here's a man who's a proven goal scorer. Yeah. So we wait to see if anything develops following these talks between Arsenal and Galatasaray. We know the two clubs are talking. We don't know how serious Arsenal are about signing Victor Osimhen in this transfer window. Yeah, he's often talked about during this period, isn't he? And I mean, is he the guy to unmask Arsenal's? Yeah, thank you for laughing at the gag. I'm glad you got it. It's early for that one, but is he the man to unmask their attacking problems?
I think he'll certainly help. He would be a marquee signing. I don't think as big as Vinny Jr., who they were after in the first place. I don't think that deal was ever going to happen. But Victor Osimhen, yeah, is a proven goal scorer at Napoli, Galatasaray, and now hopefully he can come to England, because there's been a lot of talk about him over many years, linked with all types of clubs, and it's never happened. I think now is the time for that to happen, and he could be the final piece that Arsenal probably need to help Gyökeres really, and help all those creators, Odegaard, Eze, even Bruno now, and he'll be the man to finish all those chances off.
I mean, they are leaving themselves light if they've let Trossard go, and now if they let Martinelli go. But is he an upgrade on what they have there, James, in your opinion? Well, in terms of the two central striking options, they've got Victor Gyökeres and they've got Kai Havertz. Whether or not he's a striker or a number 8 or a number 10, I don't think anybody will ever be able to get to the bottom of that debate. But here's what Victor Osimhen has done over the course of the last 5 seasons. You look at those goals there, there's a reason why we talk about him in every single transfer window on Sky Sports News. The last 2 seasons there have been in the Turkish Super League, the previous 3 seasons in Serie A with Napoli. So he's a proven goal scorer. You'd argue that the Turkish Super League isn't anywhere close to what the Premier League is, but you can see his body of work there, very, very impressive. We can compare him to Arsenal's other strike options there. Victor Gyökeres scored 14 goals in the Premier League last season. They won the Premier League.
But they're certainly in the hunt still for other players. I mean, if I look at it now, they've got the midfielder they needed in Guimarães. I still think striker out for me. If you could get Alvarez, it would be unbelievable signing for Arsenal's football club. Osimhen now is mentioned, which he wouldn't be a bad player because he's
years have gone by though. 3 years ago, I thought
it's weird.
Certainty.
He always keeps going on loan to play as well. I don't get that a little bit as well.
Maybe it's his character. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
And I think they're so important in teams now that you've got to get the right characters in there as well. If you get someone who's going to upset people and do this, do that, then it doesn't work. So. But I'm sure Mikel Arteta will be going to the board and saying, look, we do need a couple of more players if we can. Centre-half is going to be interesting because Saliba, we all know Gabriel and Saliba were superb last year. I mean, out of those two, that could have been either player of the season.
I think they won Arsenal. They won it. For me, they won the Premiership, the 2 centre-backs.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think the spine of the team, Declan Rice had a great season. Raya, and we're talking about him in goal, had a brilliant season. So right down the spine of the team, except probably for the forward line. Gyökeres done his job. He done okay, Gyökeres, in the end. He did score goals, but he probably could get more. So let's see how he does next season. But I look at the Gabriel situation and Saliba, and who's going to play alongside Gabriel?
Well, that was my question.
Mascara, maybe Mascara, he could play there. Incapia could play there, but you don't really want to move Gabriel to the right-hand side because he's more of a left-sided player. So I think at the moment it could be Mascara who plays.
Ben White, would he play there?
Well, Ben White is another option. He can play centre-half. Or, because you've got so many good midfielders, would you bring Declan Rice to centre-half? Well, I know it's taking Declan Rice out of the midfield.
Not play, is
it's only for the time when he's out, Saliba. Then you push Declan back into midfield. But he's such a versatile player. He can play centre-half. That could be an option because you've got loads of midfielders. You've got Zubimendi, you've got Eze, as Benty says there. You've got Gomes now. You've got Odegaard. You've got Lewis Skelly can play in midfield.
Odegaard needs a season.
So you've got too many. You've got too many good midfielders, but you haven't got probably the centre half back up. So whether Declan Rice would sit back in there
and up front for Arsenal,
it's going to be Gyökeres, isn't it? It's going to be Gyökeres. It starts. But
he works hard.
I just like a little bit more pressure on him, maybe. Look, Havertz can play up there as well. Don't get me wrong. And Marino he done a great job. Marino, we could see what he done in Spain in the World Cup. So there's another midfielder for you, Al. I've just mentioned a load of midfielders there. So they've got a lot of midfielders in that areas. But
we've not mentioned Miles Lewis Skelly.
Yeah, and look, he's done well. He's done really well towards the end of the season.
Too many midfield players.
Got a lot of midfield players, and the squad itself. It's really hard to keep.
James, you've got some breaking news for us.
We mentioned this at the top of the show. Tijani Reinders looks set to end his time at Manchester City after one season, and City have agreed to sell Tijani Reinders to Al Qadsiya. We've been reporting the fee is around £51 million. They're recouping more than they paid for him from AC Milan last year. Interestingly, the player wants the move. We've not been reporting that until today. He wants the move. The next stages are set to proceed. So City buying him for around £40 million last summer from AC Milan. They're set to make a big profit, £51.3 million. He's set to go to the Saudi Pro League after one season at the Etihad.
Does that make...
Some breaking news to bring you, and it's regarding Barcelona, Manchester City, and their pursuit for Rodri. Barca ready to raise their offer for Spain's World Cup winning captain. The club have indicated an increased amount that they are willing to pay in discussions with Manchester City. Sky Sports News understands negotiations remain ongoing about a first derisory bid from Barca that was rejected out of hand by City last week. It's unclear at this stage how much exactly Barcelona's next bid will be, but it's likely, we understand, to be somewhere in the region of 50 to 60 million pounds, so 60 to 70 million euro.
Arsenal have the squad. Arsenal have the manager. What they don't have, according to almost every pundit who's picked apart their last two title challenges, is a 25-goal striker who can drag them over the line in March and April when the fixtures pile up and the legs get heavy. So when a name like Victor Osimhen starts circulating around the Emirates, it's worth asking the question properly instead of just reacting to a headline. Could it actually happen? And if it did, would he really be the missing piece? Let's break it down from three different angles, because the noise around this one is coming from everywhere at once. Right, let's deal with what we actually know before we get into speculation. Osimhen's situation has been unusual for over a year now. He fell out of the picture at Napoli, went out on loan, and his value has fluctuated depending on who you ask and which release clause figure is being quoted that week. Arsenal's recruitment team have been tracking centre forwards for multiple windows. That much has been consistent across several transfer windows, regardless of which specific name has been attached to it.